Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, very quickly, Ms. Itisam, please brief our listeners on the World Physiotherapy Day celebration and what this means now.
Okay, September 8 has been set aside as World Physiotherapy Day. It is to celebrate physiotherapy and physiotherapists since 1951. And each year, there's a separate theme set aside to celebrate physiotherapy, which would enlighten the general public about some certain conditions and how to prevent them, and about physiotherapy approach towards them. And this year's theme is on osteoarthritis and physiotherapists' role in management and prevention of osteoarthritis. And that's the reason we are here today.
So what exactly does osteoarthritis mean?
Osteoarthritis is a degenerative disease of a joint. Degenerative disease is a breakdown of structures in the joint. We have 360 joints in our body, and the joint is a point where two bones connect. Depending on the type of joint, the joints are connected by ligaments, cartilage, enclosed in the capsule, and the muscle that moves the joint. But for osteoarthritis, I want to highlight more on the cartilage. The cartilage is a soft tissue that covers the end of the bone. It acts as a cushion that allows a smooth gliding movement in that joint. Over time, this cartilage breaks down, and they start allowing the bone to rub on each other. And when they rub on each other, they cause pain, swelling, discomfort. This is the early stage of osteoarthritis, and when the condition worsens, it causes severe pain because the bone will now be rubbing closely over each other. Sometimes it deforms the joint.
Okay, so where do you now come in as a physiotherapist and also the management of people with osteoarthritis? Demilade.
Okay, thank you. For physiotherapists, we work on alleviating the symptoms of our patients. That's basically how we manage our patients. So for most of our patients, they present with pain in the joints. Some present with stiffness of the joint. We also have reduced mobility in the joints. There's swelling sometimes, and also there's a grating sensation called crepitus, and some of them also present with reduced functionality, like things they were able to do before, they find it very difficult and painful, such as climbing the staircase, taking long walks, and generally some household activities also becomes very painful. So we work with our patients to help manage these symptoms they present with. Exercise has been proven to be a very good management for our patients. For some patients, they may decide to, oh, my joint is paining me, let me just rest, I don't want to move this joint, but it makes it more painful. That's why we as physiotherapists come in, we work with our patients to provide exercise programs based on the patient's needs. Working with them, exercise is very good, it helps to mobilize the joints, reduces the pain. Also for our obese patients too, we work with them also to reduce the weight of the patient. And if some patients require bracing, we also come in then. Generally, an active lifestyle is very good because these days we get to live sedentary lifestyle, but we come in to teach them, educate them on why they need to be more active and modify their lifestyles. Thank you.
Does it affect all ages?
Majorly,
About 25% of adults, that is people above 21 years, live with osteoarthritis. About 60 to 70% of people above 60 years live with osteoarthritis, and for age below 50 years, it affects men more than age above 50 years, it affects females. A study in 2017 showed that about 300 million people are living with osteoarthritis globally.
Because weight has any role in it.
Yes, weight, sorry, weight does have an important role to play in osteoarthritis, and that is one of the reasons. It's one of the ways we can prevent osteoarthritis, as well as one of the ways to manage osteoarthritis. And speaking of age, it's a general belief that osteoarthritis affects mostly aged people, but it's not necessarily so. Because one of the risk factors is also injury. So you can find it in younger persons also, especially people who are into sports, so who frequently get injuries in joints like the knee and the hip. So joint injury is one of the things that also predisposes a person to osteoarthritis. So it can happen to any range of ages.
Okay, so how do we prevent osteoarthritis?
Okay, so when we're talking about prevention of osteoarthritis, we can look at it in two categories. First is, okay, and importantly, I would like to state that we may not necessarily be able to prevent totally osteoarthritis, because we can't state that this is the cause for osteoarthritis. There are risk factors, two of which I've mentioned. The major two are injury to the joint, and then obesity or being overweight. So how to prevent it is by preventing injuries, and one of the ways to prevent injuries is by being active, by strengthening muscles, by strengthening joints, improving stability in joints, and improving mobility generally. Another way to prevent injuries, to prevent osteoarthritis is by reducing weight, because obese and overweight people are at high risk of developing osteoarthritis. So weight management is one of the major ways you can help reduce the risk of a person coming down with osteoarthritis. Now, the other aspect is when a person has already developed the osteoarthritis, and this is also like these two ways, and one of them is reducing weight also can help the person manage their osteoarthritis better. Increasing the muscle strength and stability of the joint that is affected can also help the person reduce their symptoms and properly manage their pain effectively.
Okay, we want to say special thank you to you guys for coming to talk to us about osteoarthritis today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So would it be better if I just sit down and I can save my video and
No. It would not be. That's one of the commonest misconceptions. People think that when you don't move, you are saving your joints. But when you don't move, you are putting your joints at risk. Our body is designed to move. So the lesser you move, like the more you adopt a sedentary lifestyle and stay in one spot, which is what we do generally, the more your chances of having diseases and pains and conditions and stiffness and whatnot that bring you to us eventually to the hospital. So you'd better not be sitting all through the day. Move around as often as you can.
come live with you in the hospital. All right,
Thank you.
We have been speaking with the team of physiotherapists about osteoarthritis. Ifemelumma Suleiman, we have been speaking with Ifemelumma, and we have been speaking with Demilade.
Thank you for
Thank you
having
for
us.
having us.
Thank you.
That was interesting.
Is this
Thank you very much. Thank you. Maybe you want to slap
Yes, I think we should just sit here. Thank you.